What's going on, people? Georgio Savvides here, founder of the Hip Hop Orchestra, as well as the host of the Hip Hop Orchestra Presents podcast. And I got a really exciting announcement to finally make with everyone, is that we have our very first official sponsor for the podcast. Now, they are an amazing, amazing company called Odin's Vault, who are extremely dedicated in bringing you the very best in officially licensed merchandise from pop culture. And when I mean the very best, I mean the very best. They provide things like keyrings, caps, t-shirts, to Funko Pops, to statues from all over, such as DC, Marvel, Disney, The Mandalorian, Harry Potter, music artists from all over the place, and they are ridiculously good. I've got a couple of things to show you on offer at the moment. This trust me, their stuff is amazing. So, t-shirts, like I mentioned, like the one I'm wearing right now. It's got Rocky, right here, which I absolutely love. Or, like I said, also got Funko Pops as well, 3.75 inches and 10 inches. I've got a couple of 10 inches right here for you. I've got Post Malone right here, and I've also got Biggie right here, who I absolutely love. These are so sick. Odin's Vault, trust me, they are amazing. Now, I'm going to leave the link below in the video right here, and also in the description below as well in all future videos from the podcast. But trust me, Odin's Vault are amazing. Website is www.odinsvault.co.uk. Get in touch with them now and start buying ASAP. But also, before I forget as well, I just want to say the biggest thank you to Odin's Vault for sponsoring the podcast. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you. And trust me, get in touch with them right now. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And peace. To a brand new episode of the Hip Hop Orchestra Presents. I'm joined by an amazing guest today, dancer, actress, director, and producer, Katerina Giannakopoulou. How are you? Okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Good.
Very excited to be here.
I'm so glad to hear so much. I'm so excited as well. But
Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. But I wanted to start off with by saying a huge congratulations on your recent film, As the Waves Broke, with Alex. How do you feel? How are you feeling so far?
Very excited. I'm very, very lucky because through the pandemic, I can say that I worked a lot. I had this opportunity to work with Alexandra with my first main role as an actress. Mm-hmm. So what can I say? I won 6 awards till now for my role as an actress. And I was never expecting that. It's my first opportunity that I got, as an actress. And I'm very, very glad for that.
That's amazing. I mean, as your first role as an actress, to win 6 awards already, how does that make you feel? It must be an amazing feeling.
It's an amazing feeling, but I can't touch it because it's, it's just unbelievable, because you're here at home, you see all these awards and you can't really share it,
I know.
It's a little bit unbelievable, and but it's also the only way for me right now to have this audience feedback, because as an artist you don't have it anymore. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have that right now.
Yeah, because I saw the audience feedback on the YouTube video that you put up on your website, which is brilliant. And how does that, I know it's obviously completely different to how a normal audience would be, but to get that kind of audience reactions just by people sending in videos, I mean, what's that feeling like? Is it quite weird?
It's weird, but it's the only way to have right now also a contact with the people. It's so strange, when people talk about your films and give you feedback. And it's the only way to keep the contact with the audience, because we depend on that feedback. Usually I used to perform almost 3 times a week.
Wow.
And as an artist, you want to share, and this is why we do art. And when you don't get that anymore from the stage, then it's a very strange feeling. So I'm very happy to have it right now. You know, when people send you videos like that, it's
Mm.
something, it's like a gift.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, how have you been coping this year though, throughout the whole year, through the pandemic? Because like you said, you were performing 2 to 3 times a week at least. How have you been coping so far this year? I mean, I know you've been quite busy anyway, but how have you been coping so far? Have you been okay?
Yes, yeah, because I saw it like a chance, you
Hmm.
know, in the first lockdown, you know, when people tell you, you know, we are not, everything was canceled, all the concerts that I had, all the performances, I had like 60 concerts to do
Mm.
this year, and everything was canceled. So as an artist, you want to keep doing, you want to keep creating, and I saw it as a chance to do my own film, to produce my own film. So I wanted also to share a message to the world, maybe one perspective on the pandemic. And so I created a revenge story through the eyes of Mother Nature. And I created this very dark, but also very emotional character, Mother Nature. It's not easy to play her, so it was a lot of research that I had to do, and I had the time during the
Hmm.
lockdown, so I took it as a chance and I created Pandemia, and we won 15 awards by now.
Wow, 15.
15,
Wow,
yeah.
that's incredible. I mean, how does that make you feel as well, winning 15 awards for your own film?
It's amazing. It's incredible because, like I told you, I took it as a chance, and I was never expecting to come this far with this my little creation. You know, it's my first solo project as a dancer, actress, director, producer. So I took all the facets of me and put it just in one experimental short film. And it was something that happened very, very fast. I did this in 3 weeks.
Mm.
So yeah, I put all my energy inside. So I'm very, very pleased, very happy, and feel very honored to get all those awards. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I know that like you mentioned, you did it in 3 weeks, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Being a multidisciplinary artist, though, like you said, like a dancer, producer, choreographer, so forth as well. What do you kind of tend to work with first? Do you work with a kind of dance routine first and work around that, or do you write a script out first and work around that? How do you kind of work when you work on a project normally?
It's always different, Yorgo. It's always different because sometimes, like for example, with Pandemia, I had already Castor Herz is a beautiful composer.
Music, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he created something for me. And I had this in my mind, and I always wanted to use it. So in Pandemia, it was actually the music, but also the issue of I mean, the whole circumstances, the issue of the virus, the news, the energy that I had with for all of, you know, and specifically also the relationship between nature and humanity, all that, you know, made me create Pandemia, for
Mm.
example. And usually it's a character
Hmm.
that really inspires me, or it's music.
Mm. And do you find it very difficult doing so many different things at the same time, or do you find your own routine and work around that way?
Um, you know, I it's of course it's difficult. I can't say that it's not. Yeah, but
Hmm.
I choose this film, Pandemia, well, where you have to work by yourself.
Hmm.
It's a really, really research thing. So I use the time very well. Yeah.
Mm, brilliant. How did you find your venue that you performed at? I know it was about 3 hours away, wasn't it? That you found this forest that you went to. It was about 3 hours away from where you were based.
3 hours, yeah.
Yeah. How did you find that place to
Well,
go to?
well, actually, it was Lucas Herbrandt, he, my DOP. He had this idea because I told him what I wanted. I told him my ideas, my vision, and he showed me 2 or 3 places. And then we did the location scouting. And I said, no, I don't want to go there without seeing that. I really want to go and, create a little bit the choreography. And we went there together. We did the location scouting together. And I saw that and I said, this is it. This is exactly what I want. So I made the shop list and I told him exactly, because we just had 6 hours. So we had to plan it very well. And I told him exactly what I wanted in every scene. And I showed him a little bit the choreography. And this is how we prepared everything. We had 1 day of preparation. And then we went, I think, 2 weeks later to do the shooting.
Mm.
And we just had 6 hours, so it was very tense. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. So how comes you only had 6 hours to do it? Did you have a deadline to reach, or was it just a personal goal of yours? Say, let's get it done in as quickly as we can to put out.
It's just simple because of the lightning, because we were just 3 people. It was just me, Lukas, and Julian Brause. And we had to use the natural light. So this is why. So we started at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And we stopped 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's crazy. You must have been exhausted by the end of the day, though.
Oh my God, I was so exhausted because this character was just, she's so tough, and it's just switching from the role of the actress, the dancer, to the role of the director, and back and forth, and yeah. But I also had the best time in my life because I was running like a kid the whole day. I was climbing trees. If you are in this character, it's just, you can do everything. There's nothing you can do.
Of course. And I saw that you mentioned as well that you had to carry the Red Raven through the forest.
Oh my God.
I mean, what was that like?
It was
all.
This the Red Raven, I had also my own stuff, it was just 1 kilometer, and then we were exhausted, and there were mosquitoes. We had like 150 mosquitoes. They were biting us alive, really. And then I had just one shot, and I climbed 2.5 meters,
wow,
to get the shot. And there were so many mosquitoes there, and they had to change a lens, you say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was telling them, please.
Oh my God! Faster, let's go! But I'm getting tired just thinking about it. I mean, but for those that might not know about it, what exactly is a Red Raven now? Just for those that might not know what it is.
It's a very, very huge camera. It's a cinematographic camera with a very high quality, so you can after that work on the color grading. You have more possibilities there, so this is why we used such a huge camera, and this camera weighs a lot.
Oh, of course it does. I know, because I've seen it, they're huge.
Yeah.
And talking about the color grading, I know that you mentioned that the color grading was the hardest thing to work on for this film.
Yeah. Because I did something unconventionally, you say? Because I used 2 different color gradings because I wanted to show the 2 perspectives, before the pandemic and after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because of the storyline, you have really to think very well how you do that. So it was something that I really, really worked a lot, because I wanted to show, I have some parts that are really dark, like black and white, and there's the other part that's looks a little bit like a dream, like an apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So we really thought a lot about that and worked a lot.
Brilliant. And I know that you mentioned about the music earlier, that you had the music first, which made everything really easy, which was used for a previous project. You said that it wasn't made in the end.
Yeah.
For that previous project, is that something that you're still going to work towards in the future, do you feel? or
No,
is this nothing at all now? Okay.
no, because for me, this actually, yes, I'm going to work with Castora Herz, of course,
Hmm.
and Mark Hackstein, who is the sound designer, for something else. But this music was just perfect for Pandemia. Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant. And for the making of this film,
yeah.
did you take inspiration from several other films as
No,
well? Nothing at
mm-mm,
all.
nothing at all. Nothing.
Wow.
I wanted, I just took this as a chance to show different you know facets of me, and
Hmm.
I wanted it to be just mine. Like I said, I had this music, and music is for me something that I makes me be in another world. So I created this completely by myself, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to? I know you mentioned it took you 3 weeks to make, but in terms of the writing as well, did that take you long to do in terms of the whole idea of the film?
No, because it was like I told you, it was something that went very natural.
Mm.
Went very natural. I didn't start with writing. I started with this character,
Mm.
and this is the most important thing for me. When I do something, I always meet a character, and when I become this character, I let myself guide. This character guides me. So so the writing was just, I think I wrote this thing in 2 days. It was so fast. The choreography
Wow.
was actually the most complex thing, because usually I have 10 minutes that, when I dance, I have usually 10 minutes to tell a story in a performance.
Hmm.
And here I had just 40 seconds, to start with a very, very precise and hard choreography. And I did. This was the most difficult part, I think.
I was going to ask actually. I mean, condensing it from 10 minutes to 40 seconds must be hugely difficult.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, how do you then sort of take kind of the best moments and cut it down? Then how does that work for you?
I have to see that. When I'm doing the film, I have I have a whole idea, of course, but then I need to see it on the screen. Maybe I'm going to do something completely different, because I need to see those everything on screen. And
Mm.
when I see it, it's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. I don't know how I do it,
Mm.
but it's like a puzzle that I'm taking the pieces together. But I know exactly how I wanted it, how it is perfect to tell the story, in this case of Mother Nature.
Hmm. And when you see yourself back on the screen, is it always completely different to how you imagined it, or is it just how you visioned it?
50-50. Some things are even better, and
Yeah.
sometimes are worse.
Yeah. I can imagine.
So, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, because it's always different on screen,
Mm.
But yeah, you have to take this time. And like I said, it's like a puzzle. You're taking all pieces together, and at the end, it's just a whole picture. And um, yeah,
That's amazing. Now, oh, is it for release now as well for the public to see?
not yet, because it's still in competition.
Okay.
But in 2 or 3 months, I'm going to upload it. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Can't wait to see it. Then, in fact, I saw the first minute or so of the film on your website. Looks fantastic. Looked really, really good.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And how do you feel about it? How do you feel now about releasing it to the public in a couple of months' time? Then, are you nervous or excited?
I'm very nervous. Yeah, because I'm very nervous, because this is like a gift. You do it, and then you share it to the people, and I really want to know what other people think about it, especially also the musicians, because it's a very complex little thing that we did there. And I'm very curious about the feedback that
Of course,
they're
you are.
going to give me.
Yeah, can imagine. But talking about that feedback, who is there anyone that you can talk to or get advice from for getting that feedback? Say you create a piece of work, is there anyone that you can talk to get their feedback on maybe how you can improve it or change things or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Alexandra, for example, too. Alexandra Bekiou, my
Yeah,
director,
yeah,
way broke. She's a beautiful person, and she always gives me feedback, and I give her feedback. And I have other friends, Michalis Iliaskos was who I did the tragedy of Domna Vizvizi, the collaboration with GNV. You know, those are artists who are in my life, are friends of mine who, you know, we support each other. And yeah, and especially during that time, it's very, very important to have those people.
of course. And
Yeah.
as you saw, I spoke to Alexandra a couple of days ago for the podcast as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it was a love. It was brilliant. I love it to bits already. How did you two initially meet though?
Oh my God. Actually, yeah, this is a good question because actually we had a friend together and he said that we really have to meet. You guys have to meet. So then she found me on Facebook and added me and we wrote each other and then we decided to meet. And it was like, oh my God, this is something I don't know, some people you see and you know this is something very, very special.
Hmm.
And then she asked me about if I'm interested or to play a role, and I said, "What if I'm interested?"
Yeah.
And then she taught me about the idea. She asked and about the film, and this is how everything started. And I told
Brilliant.
her, yeah, if I'm going to play a character, then it's going to be for you.
Yeah, brilliant.
And we didn't know back then. I mean, it is 3 years ago when that happened,
Oh
right? And
wow.
she told me, yeah, and she told me, listen, I don't know if this is going to happen, and I'm right now starting. And I told her that I'm going to support her, and no worries. And now we have more than 40 awards for this film, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, 14 awards later, and for your first film together as well, was it?
The first film, first time
Wow.
director and
Yeah.
first time actress.
My God.
Yeah, it's
That
just
is amazing.
amazing. It's
That is
amazing.
amazing.
And we created together this character, and it's just a fine, complex character. And she had, you know, things in her mind. She really knew what she wanted to tell.
Mm,
And I also, you know, I wanted to make her proud, and I really, really worked very hard at this character because she had very clear in her mind what she wanted to tell. So yeah, it
of
was a
course.
lot of work, and I think there were just 13 scripts, you
Yeah, she
know,
told me. Yeah,
13 scripts, and I wanted to
13.
see everything. So I was there during the whole creative part, which I think is the most beautiful part, the creation, you
Hmm.
know. And this is how a beautiful friendship, um, this is how we
Yeah.
became this beautiful friendship.
Yeah. And like 'cause she mentioned to me obviously how difficult it is for independent directors and producers to make a film now. And she mentioned obviously how difficult, like she mentioned obviously people don't take independent filmmakers as seriously and they always tend to use the same directors or actors and so forth. But how did you find the whole process of making this film yourself? Did you find it quite difficult to work on, or did you really enjoy the whole process?
Well, to tell you the truth, for me, it was the most easiest project because Alexandra had the whole work. You know, she is so precise and she's so organized, and she organized everything so well that I had nothing to do. I became just Julia, my character. And I
Mm-hmm.
could just concentrate on her, which was very important, right? So I was so relaxed, and she really, I don't know how she found everybody, the whole crew. It was the first time that I saw everybody. And there was one scene actually that was so intense, so dramatic, where I play, where I have so many plot points and I have to cry and scream and we just had one shot. And she prepared everything so well, and I was so relaxed that we managed all together in a team to do that. We just had 4 days of doing the film,
Mm,
so
that's
yeah.
amazing. I know that
It's
she.
her effort. She did this. It's her effort. So usually I'm used to as an interdisciplinary filmmaker. I'm usually used to do everything, and to it's just so stressful also, right? So there I just was totally relaxed.
Brilliant. I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to ask you actually, how, being a multidisciplinary artist as well, how do you find it, so to allow someone else to take over and kind of guide you where to go? Do you find it an easy process or difficult?
Not difficult at all, because I really, really love to share, and I really love to let me, because this is the most beautiful part, when somebody knows how to direct you, and you just concentrate on one thing, and you learn so much, from the other director too. And I take those things also for my work, so it's just a learning process. I love that. I
That's,
love, yeah,
that's incredible. But
yeah.
congratulations again on such an amazing film, though. Honestly,
Thank you so
congratulations.
much.
But before we get to your next project as well, I'd like to take it back to the beginning for you. So how did it all start for you in terms of the whole dancing artistry? How did you get into becoming an artist
Oh,
yourself?
this is
You
a
do
very
so
good
much. How did you
question.
start? How did it start for you?
Well, it started very natural, and I have to tell you that I was so lucky, because oh my God, I always was an artist. I always was dancing, singing, and painting, and I did everything. And with 5 years, I think, well, my parents had a Greek restaurant, okay? Tomata
Yeah.
in Wuppertal in Germany.
Yeah.
And there was Pina Bausch. Pina Bausch, do you know Pina Bausch?
I don't know.
She is the icon of dance theater. And she introduced me in the whole artistic world. And she's one of the biggest, best directors in the dance scene. And she's the pioneer of the dance theater. And they always came to the restaurant to have lunch with the company.
Yeah.
And my mother asked her, she told her, yeah, my kid, you know how Greek
Yeah.
parents are,
Yeah.
oh, my kid, she's dancing the whole day, and she's singing, and what can I do, and where can I? And she looked at me and she said, okay, we have tomorrow the rehearsals. If she want to come, she's
Yeah.
invited. And after school, every day I was there. I was like a mascot, sitting there, watching what they was doing. And my first piece that I saw, because she invited us, was Le Sacre du Printemps.
Mm.
I mean, if people know, Le Sacre du Printemps is a very hard piece
Mm-hmm.
for a kid. I think I was the only kid in the theater. But I was 6 years old when I saw this Le Sacre du Printemps. I wasn't afraid, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I looked to my mom, and my mom says that I had such an intense. I looked at her very intensely, and I asked her, Mom, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? Are you going to support me? And my mom says that it was such an intense moment for her, and she couldn't say no. And she said, yes, of course. And this is where everything started for me. And I was so lucky, because my parents could afford my education, that I did everything. I had so much energy. I did ballet, I did jazz, I played the piano, I played drums. I was a good drummer. I love to play drums. I was painting, I was singing. This was actually the whole education that I had, was just mixing everything, doing everything, and this is how I started.
That's amazing, it really shows in your work as well, that that enthusiasm, that fire in your work. It really shows still, And some people lose that, I feel, over the years when they're doing the arts, whatever it might be. But I can see that real intensity, like you said, in your work, and I think it's fantastic.
I'm like a little kid. I stayed like that. Like the little Katerina that's always creating and always, it's something I can't, it's passion. I
Mm.
don't know. It's passion. I can't do anything else, you know?
Yeah. I'm exactly the same as you. I'm like a big kid as well. Every day I wake up excited to learn something brand new or do something brand new as
Yeah.
well. And when
And
people tell,
that's
so,
why
so I
I
got,
love what you're doing. Also, this podcast, it's just
thank you.
unbelievably beautiful because it's sharing too, sharing with other artists, and this is also a learning process.
It,
And
it,
it's
it is because for me, I always love to study other people, see how
exactly,
they started, how they got into the industry, how they work, what they've learned. And like you said with this podcast, it's a real addiction for me now as well because I play piano, I compose, I do lots of things with music. But just to sit down with people and just to talk with them and to learn from them and just have a chat is something that I love doing as well.
yeah,
Absolutely.
especially during those times,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And I've been so lucky that everyone I've spoken to has been so loving and caring, like yourself, just to sit down and just share their time with me and to just speak about their process. So I've got to say thank you again from now, just for sitting down with me and teaching me a few bits as well. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. It's an
It's
honor for me.
my pleasure. But I think it's for everyone to have that kind of childlike curiosity about life is something that everyone I feel should still keep within themselves, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people lose that when they get older. Is when they get older, they feel like they've got to get a job. They lose that creativity. They lose that love for whatever they might have been from years ago. And for me, I found that really sad in a way that they lose that first love that they had. But like yourself, I had such loving parents who were able to afford to support me wherever I needed to, and they could see something in me saying that this is for you, go for it, we're going to help you. And that's why, just like yourself, I feel so honored and privileged that I was able to do what I wanted in life, and they were there to support me.
Yeah, but that's why also, I mean, we were lucky, right? But I
Very
know
lucky.
you are also a teacher,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of social work that I'm doing. So I'm teaching not just kids, I'm teaching also, I have 150 students, from
Wow.
every age, and I'm teaching art, because I think art is a healing process. And I try also with anything I do, to take the people in my world. This
Hmm.
is what I did with my performances before, and right now I don't have those performances anymore. So I took it as a chance, and I said, okay, I have to find innovative ways of keep doing what I did, and so I did this films. And
Definitely. How do you find being a teacher as well?
well, I have a career actually as a teacher. I
Okay.
did my formation as a dancer, professional dancer, and a teacher, because I always like to share art, and I think it's the only way. Also, I mean, I learned so much from my students. They are the best teachers, so this is the best way for me also to stay always in. Um, to share,
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I always teach. I always teach. This is something
Fantastic.
that I can't stop doing that. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Is
especially during that time where people don't have money, there's a lot of I do also a lot of social work. And yeah, I teach online right now.
okay. Was it the flamenco dancing that you were teaching? I saw. Was it flamenco dancing that I saw, or was that something else that you were
I,
doing?
no, I'm actually a director of musicals. I do
Okay.
musicals, and I teach acting.
Hmm.
So, and I teach dance, all kinds of choreographies. Doesn't matter, hip hop, jazz. It depends on what the students want to do and where their passions are. So, what I try to do is to watch the talent that has everybody,
Hmm.
and yeah, and then I'm helping them to create something own by their own.
That's fantastic. It's really good. Really
And then we
good.
put everything together. Actually, we are a team, music for everybody. We have acting, we have dancing, we have drawing, and we have singing, those 4 facets. And we watch, the talent of everybody, and then we take everything together and make a musical out of it.
Amazing. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
But something else that caught my eye from your work is Domna Visvizi.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I read the story last night again about that. It was fantastic. I mean, how did you come across that story initially as well? Did you always
Well,
grow up with stories, or did you come across it quite recently?
Well, it starts actually with the idea that we have with Michalis Riaskos and Greek National Videos. Um, um, we always wanted to do a big project, Michalis Riaskos and me,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the creator of Greek National Videos, and we started to work together 2016. And now we are happy that we have, we built up this company, Greek National Videos, to actually, the idea was to showcase our beautiful homeland through a very, combining poetry of lyrics, music, dance, acting, cinematography, sound design, and a story. And right now it's the story about Domna Visvizi, a Forsaken woman, a hero, mother, and wife. So, and this is actually our reference film of the idea that we have, that is Greek National Videos, actually our company.
Wow. How did you find the whole process of making the film? Was it very emotional for you to make that, especially such a powerful and strong film and story?
Yeah, well, Michalis lives in Greece. I live in Germany, and this is where actually the problem starts, the distance.
Yeah.
And he produced actually this song and introduced it to me. And I was in Greece during that time. And then we just were brainstorming, and I have to tell you, Michalis and me, we know each other 30 years. We had our first performance when we were 12, 13. So when we are together, it's something like, we have to create something. And he's exactly like me, the very intense. And so we took just a walk in Alexandroupolis, and it was during the pandemic. And he said, I want to start the film here. It was at the Faro. It was there where the statue was. And I started with this posture of Domna Visvizi. And he looked at me like that. And then we went to the front, and I said, who are those guys? Like this, everything started like that. And he said, yeah, this is Domna. And there we knew, okay, we are going to tell their story. And this is how we started. We started the whole research together. It was very hard. I was actually at my vacations, and I closed myself in a small room for 4 or 5 hours to really, really become Domna. And Michalis helped me a lot with the Greek mythology, the history, and the Greek style, And this is how we created. Actually, it was a sketch on a mobile phone where Michalis just, was the DOP, and and we did the scenography and everything. This is how everything started. And then when we had the whole idea, this is when we decided to make a film out of it. And this is where Dimitris Tektonidis, an amazing filmmaker and also director, did this film with us, the 3 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I read the story of Domna last night before today, and very powerful, very powerful. And would you mind, for those that might not know about the story, would you mind sharing a bit about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Domna Visvisi is a forsaken woman hero. Um, she was rich and married to Hazi Adonis Visvisi, and they both decided to, during the revolution of Greece in 1821, they decided to buy the boat Kalomira and to fight for the revolution of Greece. And her husband died 1822, and uh, she decided to keep going. She was pregnant there with her fifth
Fifth, yeah.
child, and she lost actually everything. She lost her kids, she lost her husband, she lost everything. And when she applied for help to the government, to Greek government, the government said to her or asked her, "What did you do for Greece?" And this was actually because she was a woman, and nobody saw her like a hero during that time. And this is actually how the film starts. There's a letter of Domna Visvisi before she died. She wrote a letter, and this is how our film starts in Old Greek. Wait. Um, I cry, but I find no mercy. My screams pierce even the heavens. I fought for freedom and the homeland. I lost my love, my partner, my children. And there is this bitterness. My homeland is not independent yet.
Wow. I mean, when you first heard that story, it's just making me emotional now. Sorry if I brought it up for you. But, I mean, how did it make you feel today, knowing that these stories even existed originally? Did it make you emotional? Did it make you stronger to push forward, or how does it make you feel in general?
Uh, um, in general, it's I feel, you know, first of all, I'm very happy that I had this opportunity to get to know this story through the help that I had with Michalis Iliaskos, who knows a lot about Greek history. And it's like a gift to know that, yeah, it's actually nothing changed. There
Mm,
are heroes everywhere. Even now, during the pandemic, there's so many heroes that we don't see, and so many people that have their own battle. And Dom Davis is just one example of so many heroes that exist, especially right now, also during the pandemic, and that we don't see
mm,
because we are with our own problems and with our own little world, but there are so many people who really fight for something big, like Domna Visvisi did for her homeland. This they started it for love, not for anything else. They did this for love.
mm. And are there any other stories that you'd love to work with to bring to life that people might not know about, like the story of Domna Visvisi?
Well, actually, there's a lot more to say about Domna Visvisi, and we're working right now with Michalis on the script because there's the secret of the tragedy of Domna Visvisi.
Oh wow.
Because when her husband died, 1822, he wanted to tell her something, and he didn't make it. So we, I have, sorry, this is
Yeah,
just
that's
so
fine. That's fine.
amazing because we found so many letters of Domna Visvisi where she's writing that she's talking to the spirit of her husband, and there is so much to tell about the secret. And this is what we want to do. We're working on the long film, and we have material for 1 hour. So actually, we are trying to find support, to make this possible.
Wow. When do you aim to hopefully finalize the whole project?
Well, we are writing the script right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we are hoping we have for the short film 13 awards. We have 13 awards after 4 weeks. Like, it's amazing. Best inspirational film, best experimental film, best romance film, best song, grand jury award, best choreography, best voiceover. It's just so this gives us energy, of course, and we are very positive that that we maybe get help to do it. And we have to do a lot of research still, so I think 2022 will be, we will need this time for the research, for to work on our characters, on the choreography, to do all the songs, to produce everything. So we think 2023, if we are able, then we will do the film. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, and it's really very complex what we are going to do, because we want to have 4 songs that we are going to produce. Everything is Old Greek. In Old Greek, it's poetry, and with beautiful musicians that everybody wants to do it with us. We asked everybody, so we have a beautiful crew. Just need the money.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But
And
next year we're going to have 200 years of the Greek Revolution. You know that?
wow, yeah, 200 years, isn't it? Tomorrow, next year.
It's next year on April. So we hopefully are going to show our short movie there.
Brilliant, brilliant. And one quick question actually before we go actually is you mentioned you found the old letters as well, and obviously
Yeah.
you're working with Old Greek. Did you find it very difficult to can you understand Old Greek, or did you need it's like a historian to translate it to modern day Greek or English?
This is actually the collaboration, because you asked me before, how is it for you with working with a director? This is actually the collaboration that I have with Michalis Iliaskos. He directs me, I direct him.
Mm-hmm.
So he helps me with all that. It's very, very difficult. I don't understand Old Greek. I'm learning it right now. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And even the monologue that I have at the beginning from Domna Visvizi, it's so precise. And I worked it very, very well with Michalis Iliaskos. I think it was one of the most difficult things that I did, because I have an accent. Even now, you hear me, I have an accent. I have an accent also in Greek, And so I had to work on that. And of course, I wanted to be perfect, because, it's our tradition and it's a very, very huge story. So I worked a lot of that with help of Michalis Iliaskos, of course.
Okay. I know that in, say, The Passion of the Christ, where they used, I think the whole film or parts of the film where they used a language that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to kind of bring up a language that's very ancient and very hard to understand, it must be a very difficult task to work on.
It is. And you have to work with somebody who specialized in that. And so it was a back and forth. I asked him, it was so much work. I mean, it's a small monologue, but it has so much inside.
Of course. But I'm just wishing you all the very best of luck with that, Katerina. Honestly, you deserve everything you deserve. So, my best of luck with everything. But honestly, it's been so lovely to speak with you today. Honestly,
thank you so much.
Thank you
I
so much
hope you
for today.
understand me.
No, of course, and vice versa as well. I hope you understand me too. But before we go,
it was a beautiful experience. Thank you so much.
No, it's my absolute
wish
pleasure.
You all the best.
Thank you so much. You too. And how can people find you online, just in case?
Well, I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, and I have my own website, www.katerinagyannakopoulou.com. And there's also the website that we have with Greek national videos. And yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Katerina, thank you so much again for today. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.